Silent Hill, one of the most beloved and yet one of the most abused video game series of all time. From the lows of canceling Silent Hills to the even lower lows of Team Silent's closing, the series just can't seem to catch a goddamn break.
Because we were separated amicably, and I think he also wanted to make it clear that he's not a homewrecker. I just wanted to feel good. It had been so long since I felt good.
As a young lad, the series scared the bejesus out of my dumb little ass. But then Konami saw one B on a report card, ran all the way to Team Silent's house, and took their goddamn baby. Just like DCS did to me as a child. So then I waited many years for Silent Hill to come back home. And so it did, with Silent Hill Homecoming. And goddamn did I ever feel like that series should have just stayed at a fucking motel. Konami really had no idea what they were doing with Silent Hill at that time. They took Silent Hill from a place where it was fed, it was growing, it was becoming a big boy. Then they passed it around to whatever Western developer wanted it, without ever checking if that Western developer could handle it. They didn't have the food, they didn't have the resources. The houses were filled with bugs! But that was 11 years ago. Now, Konami says they're gonna bring Silent Hill back. And this time they're gonna do it with multiple games and a movie.
I'm ready.
Welcome to Silent Hill Transmission.
Are we saying to go back to Silent Hill?
Wait a minute. This has happened before.
I'm Tom Hewitt.
I know it's happened before. Wait a minute.
I'm Tom Hewitt, one of the producers on the Silent Hill series. Today we're here in Toronto, Canada on the set of Silent Hill Revelation, the upcoming Silent Hill movie. If you want to relive those old games and some of your scariest moments, we're releasing Silent Hill Collection, which is Silent Hill 2 and 3 retouched in HD. Later on down the road, we're going to also take the series places it's never been before with Silent Hill Book of Memories, exclusively for Sony's next generation portable. But before that, of course, is Silent Hill Downpour, an all-new game in the series focusing on Murphy Pendleton.
Yep, that's right. This has happened before. In 2012, they released 3 games and a movie, and what they were calling the Year of Silent. So how did it go? Hey, it's in 3D just like your Blue People movie. What, you guys don't like Diablo?
She said she was waiting in a special place.
She said she was waiting in a special place.
Yeah, we took all the fog out in this one, you know, cause it's HD now. As you can see, it did not go very well. Every project they released that year was ripped apart, and the fan outcry was heard loud and clear. The Year of Silent was anything but. The whole year was kicked off by Silent Hill Downpour, a game that was very, very hyped up and reviewed very, very poorly. I bought the game when it released, and, well, I kind of remember liking it. Now, this could be because I was blinded by my hatred of Silent Hill Homecoming, or my love of corn, but I remember thinking, why did this review so badly? Why do people hate this game so much? With 11 years in the rear view, I think it's about time we checked in. Is Silent Hill Downpour a possible forgotten masterpiece? Or was I just a fucking dumbass? The game opens with our boy Murphy meeting up with a CO to start his first conjugal visit.
Make it quick, huh?
Murphy, being the romantic type he is, has to set the mood first, turning on all the showers and making it hot and steamy in there. It seems we're meeting up with his new boyfriend, Diddy Kidler.
Come over here and kiss me on my hot mouth. I'm feeling romantic.
Jesus, you scared the hell out of me.
Oopsie, seems like Murphy didn't give away the safe word. Just kidding, of course. This was all a setup planned out by Officer Sewell so that Murphy could finally get revenge on the bike store owner after what he did to Dudley all them years ago.
You know, we ought to be playing some games. No a neat game with the camera.
After thoroughly beating the brakes off this fat son of a gun, we awaken sometime later, preparing to be transferred to a new prison.
Today's a big day, huh? Tell you the truth, I'm sort of sorry to see you go.
It seems no good deed goes unpunished. While boarding the transfer bus, we meet another main character, Officer Friendly, who stops Murphy for a moment just to give him some fuck you eyes.
Get on the bus.
Murphy then gets on the bus and proceeds to fall asleep. Again, seems our boy here's got a little bit of narcolepsy and he just can't help himself. Unfortunately for Murphy, the bus driver seems a little distracted. Finally, back to some gameplay. And just in time too, because we're gonna play the worst goddamn balancing minigame I think I've ever fucking played. Most balancing minigames keep it pretty simple. You wiggle your analog stick left or right to try to keep your cursor in the center, like take for instance Tony Hawk, but not in Silent Hill. In fact, I'm really not sure how the hell it works. It seems the best way to do this, and the one that seems to win it every single time, is to just hold forward and slightly to the right, and it will do the whole fucking thing for you. I never failed the minigame outside of this very first time, which is weird because the developers seem to have put this minigame in every single goddamn level you go to. We make it to the other side just to be accosted by Officer Friendly, who seems to be a goddamn Terminator with only one goal. Beep boop, must ruin Murphy's day. Unfortunately, she doesn't seem to have the brain of a T-800 and was born instead with a silly fucking meat brain because she slips off some rocks and is now holding on for dear life. We now get introduced to the main gimmick of this game, or what was supposed to be the main gimmick of this game, but we'll get to that later. A morality system, and we're given a choice to either help Officer Friendly or let her fall to her death. As a token of kindness and to hopefully get a gun, I try to help Officer Friendly off the cliff, only to watch her fall any goddamn way. Well, shit. I guess we'll never see her again. At a gas station, we find our first weapon, and we get to fight our first enemy, a locked gate. We also learn that we can throw our weapons, and I assume that it does damage to enemies. Assume being the key word there because I hardly ever used this mechanic. While roaming about the city, we see a vehicle, and Murphy gets the right idea and runs over there to steal that son of a bitch. But before he can, he's interrupted by a black postman Pat, who spouts a bunch of nonsensical bullshit, cause that's the dialect in Silent Hill.
Then we went over the bridge to the south side to meet you guys at my bro's house for some ho-hos and another cup of joe.
Before he can be completely fucking useless, he does tell us that there is no escape from Silent Hill. However, if we use the tram station, we might be able to get down into the city itself.
Meow, 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 meow.
What's the name of this place?
And just like that, he evaporates. We head into this diner, and it seems like there's no one in there. So then Murphy gets the bright idea to go into the kitchen and help himself, just to find that the whole goddamn place has been set up for an insurance fraud. Murphy, being the ever upstanding citizen as he is, attempts to turn off the gas to save the diner.
Oh, shit.
Well, shit, everything's on fire now. Way to go, Murphy!
Fire!
Sprinklers seem to be causing some sort of PTSD episode in Murphy, almost as if he's remembering all the times he dropped the soap in the prison showers.
You got a nice little ass. Give me your ass. You see me looking at you. Give me your ass. No!
This causes our very first Otherworld encounter. You see, Otherworld has been a staple of the franchise from the very first game all the way till now. It's supposed to represent the character's innermost fears. So I guess Murphy is terrified of red black holes, which, to be fair, is pretty scary in concept. In practice, it's more like you're running from a guy with a vacuum cleaner. And you can also use these goo cages to slow down the black hole, which means it's even more like a guy with a goddamn vacuum cleaner. So maybe Murphy is part fucking golden retriever. After saving Murphy from the sucking of a lifetime, we get to ride the slip and slide. And it's just like Splash Mountain, yippee! Then we find ourselves at our first goddamn puzzle. Hey, that's right, these games have puzzles in them, don't they? We turn a couple of knobs and a painting and we get to get out of here. All that's pretty easy, but by the end we also get a little bit of a trick. You see, the developers put the stairway here, which is the only way out. And as you're walking up the stairway, it just continues on and on and on. Of course, you have to turn around and go back out the other way, but it is kind of neat to see the developers try to trick you and fuck with your head a little bit. Seems the diner was attached to this big ass mansion. Going down into the basement, we can find a lift that needs a power cord to go. So, inevitably, we have to look for that power cord. Looking around the basement, I can't seem to find shit. Going back upstairs, we find an electrical cord, but this isn't the one for the lift. Instead, it seems to be for this coffee pot. When we plug the coffee pot in, we get a code for a safe. Okay, maybe the power cord is in the safe. No, wrong again. We get a pistol. I like pistols. Boss Baby has a pistol. But also, fuck, where the hell is this power cord? So I go back downstairs. I don't find anything. I still can't find this goddamn power cord. And after searching around for about 15 fucking minutes, I decide to just look it up. Tiny piece of wire on top of that fucking barrel was what I needed. How the fuck was I supposed to know that? This is another big problem with this game. There is so much clutter in every room and every location. It makes it so hard to tell what is a key item and what is not. You have to walk to every corner of every room just looking for a button prompt. Heading back to the lift, we run into our Spanish friend from the bus. Murphy, worrying that he's gonna break a nail on this bitch, pushes him out of the way, but he doesn't realize that she never said uncle. Oh, now I'll never be able to tell him about the 4 Spanish words I learned in high school! We prepare to beat this bitch down, only to realize that Murphy has fucking pool noodles for arms. So this is our first enemy. They're called screamers because they can jump on your back. Just kidding, it's because they can scream really loudly. Which, I mean, who is this supposed to scare? It looks like a shitty Halloween costume, not a scary monster from Silent Hill. And this combat is awful, man. It feels almost turn-based. We hit them until they block, they hit us until we block. This sucks. Heading up the lift, we get access to the rented rooms. Inside one of the rooms, Murphy gets a change of clothes, finds a weird badge and a key. In the last room, we come across a weird game machine that needs power. We head out back following the power line and do a little generator minigame. What is this, Dead by Daylight? Heading back, it turns out that the little game that we saw is like one of those water games you used to have when you were a kid. Use the water to match all the balls into the right holes, and bada bing, we now have a ticket to use the tram station. What's weird is these mini games only show up here, just one and done for some reason. The level designers must be having a hard time because this place is fucking confusing. The exit to this place has a bunch of garbage right in front of the fence to get out, so that you have to slide through it. I mean, just look at that. You wouldn't have thought that that's the way to go. I passed it up like 3 times before this. Uh-oh, looks like there's more streetwalkers. Fuck this shit. We're beelining it to that tram station. Avoiding all the lot lizards, we jump onto the tram and leave the intro behind. I gotta be honest, this opening is not good. And I'm not sure what happened, but it almost feels like this was rushed. Like, for instance, you crash the bus at night, and you can see in the cutscene, Murphy's looking into the night sky. There's thunder and lightning, and then all of a sudden it fades back into midday? I mean, could you imagine how much scarier it would have been to have it be at night? Maybe every time a lightning strikes, we can see the creatures in the distance, maybe giving us a little preview of what's to come, but we don't really get that here. Instead, we get a slow walk through a mostly empty town in the middle of the day. Let's just hope that it picks up in its second act. This act revolves around John P. Sater, or JP for short. When we first meet him, he seems pretty distraught, almost like he doesn't know where the hell he is or why he's still there. He tells us that this place used to be filled with families. You know, cause the Devil's Pit is really family friendly. He then starts going on about how long and deep this fucking pit truly is, and it seems that Murphy's had enough of his yammering as much as we have. JP then tells us about how to get out of this place.
Boy, I tell you, all the kids, they
using an old train station that the kids used to like. Although he doesn't want to help us find the fucking place, he does point us in the correct direction. It seems most of this level is just a trek downwards into these pits, which is mostly this old mining operation, or so it seems. While we're going down, we do get a couple new puzzles. The first one being this weird water puzzle. Shit's got me straight up feeling like Kratos. We find some newspapers down here that talk about a horrible accident that resulted in some kids dying. We also learn that our boy JP liked to party hardy, and I can assure you that those two things, they have nothing to do with each other. With these newspapers pointing to some dead kids, I almost wonder what we're gonna see as the monster down here. Are we gonna see some weird ghost children? Or, ooh, what if they're like zombie fucked up kids or something? Nope. God damn it. Instead, it seems like we've come across Bat Boy from all those old-ass newspaper articles. And he's going through puberty. He's all testosteroned up and ready to fuck me up. And this is the culmination of all of the terrible decisions with this goddamn combat. First of all, you can only hit this creature a couple of times before your hits stop registering at all completely. He consistently jumps up into the roof and jumps back down on you. You can't protect yourself against that, and he will do it every fucking time you even land a lick on him. The second thing is this fucking weapon durability. So I have a pickaxe. Now, pickaxes are used typically for hitting and knocking ores out of rock. Now, this bat thing, this hairless fucking looking werewolf motherfucker, is definitely not made of rock. And yet, my fucking pickaxe breaks on him after just a couple of hits. Are you kidding me? This is the second creature we're gonna run into, and we're gonna encounter them quite often. They're called weeping bats, which is a very accurate name because every time I see one, it makes me want to cry. Now, we finally dealt with the bat, and we see that there's this boarded up area. Now, this is kind of like how we beat the locks off before, except this one requires either an axe or, lucky for us, a pickaxe. There are 3 different types of weapons that are required to access certain areas, which is kind of annoying. You'll either need a ladder pole, some sort of blunt object to beat off a lock, or, like is in needed right now, an axe. Because the weapon limit is only 1 melee weapon, you can only have one of these required items at a time. Thankfully, the game does usually have the weapon you need in the area if it's required. Heading back outside, we run into the party animal himself, JP, who's actually quite a downer now that he's not drinking.
Those newspaper men are goddamn fucking liars. Relax, man. We're just talking. We're the ones who decide if we can live with what we've done.
After listening to JP be a crybaby for a couple of minutes, we're given a choice. We can either tell him to krill himself, or we could tell him to step away from that ledge, my friend. So what do you think I chose? Oh, also, did I tell you guys that I was in a cover band? Ledge, my friend, you could cut ties with all the lies that you've been living in. And if you do not want to see me again, I would. Unfortunately, it seems JP was not a fan of Third Eye Blind. And there it goes, the second time we've been given a moral choice, and no matter what we chose, it had the same outcome. Now, do you remember when I said at the beginning of the review, it's supposed to be the main gimmick of this game? Well, the reason I said that is because outside of this last moral choice that we're gonna make, there's only one more moral choice in the entire game, and it's at the very end. It's almost as if the developers completely forgot about the moral questions altogether. Well, I guess there is also this secret morality system going on in the background that they don't really tell you about. You see, in most Silent Hill games, you can down an enemy, and typically you want to finish them off, but not in Silent Hill Downpour. Every time you kill an enemy, it counts negatively to your karma score, which does affect the ending, but not by much. We reach this big open area where we can see a lot of those goddamn bat squatches up in the ceiling. Thankfully, for this being a giant, dim, dark pit, everything is very well lit. We can actually see the sons of bitches waiting for us. We successfully maneuver around all those bat squatches and juke a few of them. Using some old dynamite that was left laying around, we blow a hole in the wall and bada bing, we are now at the trains. We successfully use our 4th grader IQ to push the correct colored buttons to get that train started. And off we go! At the end of the train car section, we actually get a glimpse at this fucked up, disfigured face. And for once, the creature design actually looks scary.
Conductor, we have a problem! Conductor, we have a problem! Conductor!
Which, unfortunately, means this is going to be the last time we ever see it. The creature was called the Monocle Man, and judging by some trailers that showed off a boss fight from it, it seemed like it was supposed to be the final boss of this level. The trailers, however, you can already tell it wasn't running very well, so they may have cut it due to technical limitations. Seems like JP isn't the only alcoholic as we wake up in a place not knowing how the fuck we got there.
I think it's happened again. I didn't do anything, I swear to God.
But just before we can leave the Devil's Crevasse behind, we get interrupted by Officer Goddamn Friendly, and she's pissed the fuck off.
On your fucking knees. Well, let's see how funny it is with a fucking bullet in your head. I'm sorry.
Before she can send old Murphy to the game over in the sky, her silly meat brain starts malfunctioning, causing her womanly emotions to overload her body, letting us skedaddle out the fucking building. With the crappy caves behind us, we now get access to the open world. And it all looks very same-ish. You'll spend a lot of time in the open world getting lost, as there's very few landmarks. This is also where you'll receive most of the side quests in the game, although I recommend just staying the hell away from them. The reason I say that is because most of them don't give you any kind of rewards that are really worth it.
It just gave me clothes.
Oh, how I wish I was in Dixie. Hurrah.
In a game where most of your weapons break, when it does decide to give you some items, you can't actually hold them. For instance, this side quest in a movie theater. You hop in all these film reels and it takes the camera angle of the original Silent Hills, which is kind of neat. You solve all the puzzles in the end, it gives you 2 weapons, 1 shotgun and 1 golden pistol. The issue with this is apparently, even though you hold the shotgun on your back and the pistol in your pocket, you can only holster 1 of these. Meaning that if you want to keep your shotgun and pistol, you're gonna have to drop 1 of them in order to pick up a melee weapon. Some side quests don't give you jack shit at all. Like for instance, this one where you have to turn back a record. Turns back time and you get to fight this guy out of a painting. It all looks very cool, but you don't get anything for doing it. Other times it bait and switches you, like for instance when I found this note here, it states that they're gonna shoot this guy with a shotgun if he steals anything from them again. But we do a little side quest returning all the stolen items, and you would think, because of the mention of the shotgun, that your reward would be a shotgun, but instead we get a new outfit for Murphy. So you don't really get much for doing any of these side quests. In fact, I did most of the side quests without even knowing I was doing a side quest. Eventually, while roaming around, you will hear somebody come across the radio asking Murphy for help.
I'm at the station.
This happened for me while I was accidentally doing a mission inside the police station. Unfortunately, it seems I'm not the only one who heard that radio broadcast.
Come here! You know what? How you doing, motherfucker?
We try to fight the bastard, but he beats my ass and then calls his girlfriend to come fuck me up too. Son of a bitch. Oh my, fuck this.
Hey, what are you guys doing?
So with no other choice, we decide to run, only to find out that this motherfucker is so much faster than I am. Like how every time I turn my camera off, it seems like he gets closer.
He does move faster when you're not looking at him.
Oh my god.
He's not even running. Look, he's like speed walking.
Oh, I'm gonna have to fight him. Oh no! What the fuck? No! There's 2 of them! Fuck this! He called his friend, he said, yo, help me out, beat this man's ass.
This motherfucker's talking shit. Matthew, sprint.
This is as much of a sprint as I can.
Oh my god. They're not letting up, dude.
Dude, I'm gonna have to fight him. Maybe if I can get a good whack on him.
Damn, he's throwing combos.
Damn it.
Don't forget to watch out for that other one, man.
Oh, right, there's 2 of them. Oh, no. Fuck you!
talking!
I guess Matthew didn't want it. He didn't want to eat.
We saw a couple of food stamps. Here, Butch. I can trade these for weed.
This is the third enemy we encounter in the game, and as you can see, they're all very impressive. Now, you won't believe what this enemy is actually named. I want you to dig very deep into the darkest, most twisted recesses of your inner mind. You got something? Well, you're wrong. This enemy is actually called Prisoner Minion. Wow, how very creative. Whoever came up with that must have had a real dick and depraved mind.
I couldn't give two fucks about anybody or anything on this planet. And the reason for that is I find everybody's intellectual intelligence far less superior than that of my own.
After roaming around for a while, we'll run into our old friend, Postman Blackwood.
Still in town, I see.
Basically acts as this game's living compass. He points us in the right direction to go find that old DJ so that we can save his fucking life.
Of a clock at the top. Shouldn't be hard to find.
This level starts at the parking garage, and basically what we're trying to do is get all the way to the top of the tower. While in the parking garage, we also get our first look at our stalker. Most Silent Hill games have a stalker-type character, something that's always in the background, hunting for you. However, this game doesn't really do that. In fact, this is the first time we've seen him, and we're almost halfway through the game. We solve a very, very simple water puzzle, and we also get this cool UV flashlight. The UV flashlight is super useful. 80% of the time it's used in puzzles, but the other times you can actually use it to figure out where you're supposed to be going. It only sucks that they didn't give you this until halfway through the game. This level is pretty fucking rad, by the way. I have to glaze it just a little bit. All the complaints that I've had about these levels so far, it uses to its benefit. The confusing map layout, the cluttered items, then add on top of it this creepy feeling you get as this thing stalks you all throughout the level. It all comes together to make the best level in this game. Maneuvering around the level, we'll see some mannequins in a glass case. Modern art, am I right? It seems our eye rolls go unappreciated as the mannequins spawn a bunch of spooky ghosts that attempt to rip us apart. These ghosts can only be seen under UV light, which is pretty cool. The one monster in this game that actually has a gimmick that isn't fucking complete utter bullshit. I'm looking at you, Bat Boy. These things are called dolls, and they're the one creature that actually feels at home in a Silent Hill game. Unfortunately, once you find that you can just beat the shit out of the mannequin that hosts these ghosts, they all become very trivial. And arguably, that's it as far as enemies are concerned. I say arguably because the prisoner has a couple variations. The brawler, the shanker, and the charger is what I call them, which is a far better name than just Minion and Juggernaut. So let's run through these monsters again. There's the Freak of the Week, Batman, Prison Boyfriend, and Barbie Girl. Not one of them is really that scary, to be honest. They all look like shitty Halloween costumes, almost as if your neighborhood haunted house busted out and started trying to beat your ass.
Sort of like studying Mike Tyson footage before you fight.
Back to the game, this level has quite a few flashbacks of Murphy in jail too. One letting us know he had a friend in the pen named Frank.
What's up, Officer Coleridge? You and he were buddies, weren't you?
I don't want to get your hopes up, kid, but the parole board's looking pretty closely at your case.
Frank also lets us know that Murphy was arrested for stealing a police car, and that he had no priors. It's almost like Murphy was trying to get arrested all along.
What makes a guy with no priors and a clean sight do something that stupid?
In one of the coolest flashbacks in this entire level, we also get to learn a little bit more about the deal that he made with Sewell. You know, the prison guard from the beginning.
So this is how it's gonna work. I'll give you access to Napier. Make sure you get some quality time with that worthless sack of shit. I'll see to it no one finds him till I've had a chance to scrub the place down. Keep you in the clear. But in exchange, you're gonna owe me a favor. Think you can do that for me, sport?
Towards the end of the level, we'll find a wheelchair jammed between the elevator. I guess he took the stairs. At the top of the tower, we'll finally meet the man who's been calling us all along, Bobby Ricks.
Got a disc spinning right now, so you ain't interrupting nothing.
He explains to us that he has a way out.
I got this boat.
The only issue is, it requires a key. It seems Silent Hill is run by one of those Grand Theft Auto roleplay admins, because hot wiring has been disabled.
Those keys.
But before Bobby can tell us where he thinks the location of the key is, in storms Officer Friendly.
Put the gun down, damn it.
Just as our reunion was starting, it's ruined by a bunch of fucking screamers who burst in, kidnapping everyone. Well, everyone but Murphy, that is. We find that the only way out of the tower is to start a fire, but we forgot one thing. PTSD flashbacks woke up Mr. Hoover, and the last thing you want to do is wake him up from a nap. After skedaddling past Mr. Hoover, we come to this giant clock. God damn it. Shit. Fucking damn it. Come on! Oh, fuck. Come on. Even the crappy balancing minigame works here as the clock starts to spin super fucking fast. Surviving all this crazy bullshit, we get to take another ride down Splash Mountain. Except, we slipped and slided a little too hard. We then get woke up on a park bench, and with how many times Murphy wakes up from places he doesn't know how he got to, I think it's about time for a fucking intervention.
If you don't accept this help today, I'll no longer be in contact with you at all, and that's the last thing I want to do.
It seems the developers forgot to tell us where to get this damn key from, so like clockwork, they send old Blackwood out to tell us exactly where to go next.
St. Maria's, the old orphanage up there on the hill.
After beating that level, you're probably wondering the same thing I was at this point. What happened to old Bobby Ricks? Actually, we never find out. He's never even brought back up again. Murphy never mentions him again. Out of sight, out of mind, I guess. At least in the game, that is. You see, after about 2 years of this game being out, they finally released a companion to the story, in the form of a comic book. And there, on the 3rd issue of this comic book series, we actually get to learn what happened to old Bobby Ricks. And, he's fine. He made it. He survived, definitely, guys. He's alive for sure. We head on down to St. Mary's and find the old nun there thinks we have a dead relative.
You were the only family we were able to locate, but his few personal effects are yours to claim.
She tells us to follow her down to the morgue so that we can claim the body, only to turn a corner and vanish like my dad did when I was born. God damn, he's ugly. I'm getting the hell out of here. While heading down to the East Wing, we come across this locked door with a kid guarding it.
She said you're the boogeyman.
He thinks that we're the boogeyman and won't let us in. And to be honest, I don't blame the kid. I mean, look at Murphy try to explain that he's not the boogeyman.
I won't lie to you. Grown-ups tell kids there's no such thing as monsters, that the boogeyman's just make-believe, and there's nothing hiding under their beds. But that's a lie. But I'm not one of them. I'm not the boogeyman.
We fail the speech check, but fortunately the kid tells us there is one way he can prove that we're not the boogeyman. A nursery rhyme that scares the boogeyman away.
No.
Then I guess she's right. You are the boogeyman.
Kid, look at me. I'm not a monster.
Not yet.
So rather than kicking down the door or reaching his hand through to unlock it, we now have to go look around for this goddamn nursery rhyme. This entire level is just basically us going up and down looking for pages that include these nursery rhymes written on them. And I gotta say, this fucking level sucks. It's a lot of backtracking in a mostly boring, gray, Gears of War looking level.
Check out this gun!
To add to the annoyance, this level's combat encounters have been upped. Every few minutes you'll be fighting an enemy. And when you're not fighting an enemy, this giant poop hole shoots one at you. The one saving grace to this level is that most of the puzzles are very cool. Whether it's this one where Murphy's playing doctor and x-raying all these screamers.
I am a surgeon! I am a surgeon!
Or this one that involves setting up a stage play. They're all very cool. We even get more level variety with this puzzle, as it opens up this cool wooded forest area. Having finally collected all of the pages that we need, we can now go back to the little boy guarding the door and tell him the rhyme.
Hey! Kid!
Murphy didn't study the rhyme before he got there, and like a high school play, he whiffs his fucking lines.
I won't forgive you. Forever lies your pleading cries, but Susie knows you felt her shit.
Ignoring the sad scene of the child being killed, I do have to ask, what if Murphy would have just read the lines before he got here? Could he have saved the kid? Or did Silent Hill know that he's such a fucking dumbass that he wouldn't actually read the pages as he was collecting them? They must have, right? Back to the present, we see Murphy standing over the body. The creepy little girl sees this, thinking Murphy did it. Jesus Christ, did she not hear anything while she was in that room? A chase ensues as Murphy tries to stop the little girl from running right into the clutches of the boogeyman. Seems Mr. Hoover heard all the commotion and is now pissed off at Murphy for not inviting him to the chase. Mr. Hoover runs out of cord and we get our first fight with the boogeyman. And oh boy is it underwhelming. Essentially all you gotta do is defeat 2 of these enemies while dodging his little hammer. I mean, just look and listen to this. It's fucking awful. And that's it. We catch up to the little girl and find that she's made friends with Ricky Berwick.
This is not a dick, it's a Wiglet, a Pokemon!
But before we can stop her from making a bunch of weird TikTok shorts with him, we fall through the ceiling and wake up in the morgue. Oh hey, right, there's where that lady was that's been waiting for us this whole time. Mother Teresa tells us that it's our son's body that we'll be claiming today, just to lift up the blanket and reveal the boogeyman underneath. Now this should be a very sad moment. Murphy is realizing that all the horrible things he had to do to get revenge for the killer of his kid have come back to haunt him, and he's dealing with that guilt. Except somebody at the studio made a terrible decision, having both Murphy and the nun talk at the exact same time.
When they cried out to the Lord in their trouble,
I screwed up,
he saved
but I didn't see any other
he
way.
brought them out of darkness.
You don't know what it was like to know it was my fault he was gone. Every time I shut my eyes, I saw Charlie's face, and all I could think was, that monster is still alive, but I'll never get to see my boy again. Why are you doing this to me? What do you want?
Murphy then has to accept his guilt, and we're finally given the keys to freedom, baby. Or maybe not. Boogeyman slams my ass into the floor and starts our first boss fight. And oh boy, I've been waiting for this for quite a while. Oh, wait, he's dead. That's it? Jesus Christ, the fucking normal enemies are harder than this. Now I'm starting to see why they cut all the bosses from this game. After Murphy defeats the boogeyman, we put our kid to rest, and now it's time to grab the keys to freedom, baby. Oh man, is this truly it? Are we truly at the end of the game? Thank God. All we gotta do is make it to the goddamn boat and we're home free, baby.
#1 victory royale. Fortnite, we about to get down. 10 kills on the board.
Oh man, it's finally over. I really want to thank you guys for sitting through this 40-minute video. Wait a minute. Oh, this fucking bitch! God damn it, of course it can't be true. It looks like old Officer Friendly's come back to put a damper on my fun and make us go back to shitty-ass Silent Hill.
I'm not going back. You might as well shoot me.
Fine.
This level opens with a flashback talking about the deal we made with Officer Sewell.
You paid back my favor, were you?
Napier.
We wake up back in a prison cell and it seems like our friend Ricky Berwick is gonna help us out.
I can be any superhero you want me to be, baby. Where are they? Oh no!
He lets us out of our cell and now we can finally explore the level. And oh my god, is this one fucking bad. If you recall, in the last level I complained about how much combat there was. Well, this level solely revolves around combat. Thankfully this level does give us several guns and lots of ammo. Otherwise this shit would be fucking impossible. We fight through the entire goddamn prison.
Alright, now this is just some weird fetish shit. Look, they're his prison bitches. Yo, he's got a shiv!
Oh my god, get off me!
He's ghetto stomping you, dude!
Fuck
that
you.
motherfucker! Blammo, bitch!
Oh my god! Oh shit.
Don't break the shotgun!
Even the goddamn puzzles have infinite spawning enemies that just keep coming back. Oh, it's making license plates. Oh my fucking god.
Oh!
Oh god damn it! Oh, come on. It's over. It's over, homeboy.
Oh, hit him with that OE.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Bitch.
Oh my god.
Oh, dude, look at him casually walking up like that. He's like, his stuff.
Oh my god. Oh god damn it. You fucking bitch. Will you stay dead? I hear him. Fuck! God damn it! Are you serious? We make our way to the location of all Murphy's miseries, the shower. From the looks of things, there was a crime here. Murphy's dumbass collects all the evidence, getting his fingerprints on everything. We hear Sewell calling us from another room, so like an idiot, Murphy follows. Instead of finding Sewell, we find a body bag. I wonder what's inside. Before we can solve the Scooby-Doo mystery of what's in the bag, we get another otherworld encounter, and at this point, we all know what the fuck we're supposed to do. We come to a staple of 2010 gaming, a combat elevator. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yo, these bitches are wild and the DNA tests have come back. You are the father. Oh my god, this is a traveling battle arena. Release the beast. It's just more hoes. It's not even different enemies. I'm getting frustrated and I'm not even fucking playing.
We beat the brakes off of all the enemies and come to a couple of puzzles. The first of which is locking a couple of inmates up. The second one involves these goo blades. And the last one has us locking up a bunch of inmates using a spotlight. Now, I'm sure there's some sort of subtle metaphor about how you can shine a light on everyone's guilt, but honestly I can give two shits at this point. But when you know it, we come to another chase. And this one's the worst one of them all. First, we have to contend with the fact that the black hole doesn't give a shit if we're above it or below it. It has absolutely no concept of elevation. Then we have to contend with the fact that everybody's trying to grab us from their goddamn cells. Thank God this is the last one. Go, 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 go. Oh my fuck, not this shit again.
Come on, dude. This is just ridiculous.
We come to this large scale in front of a door. Placing all the crime scene evidence in one side weighs it down and it opens up. I wonder what it means. On the other side, we see this fucked up creature plugged into all these life support tubes.
What the fuck?
Looks like it's time to put down the dog.
You think that's what Hillary Clinton looks like when she takes the makeup off?
I don't want... Oh, god damn it. Maybe. What the fuck?
Look at that thing spinning over there. You see it having a grand old time?
He's having a blast. There's just nothing very cool about slowly pulling the life support off of your enemy. We unplug it from its life support one by one, and just like unplugging Peapod, it's piss easy to do. Oh. You're going off life support, buddy. I'm sorry.
My goal!
As it turns out, we weren't putting down Peepaw at all.
Good man.
What the hell are you talking about? That thing tried to kill me. It's not a man, it's a monster.
Why didn't you answer the radio?
Should've learned to keep your big fucking mouth shut, Frank. Now my friend Murphy's gotta shut it for you.
The favor we're doing for Sewell was to put down Officer Frank.
No.
You know, He was a great man, my dad.
Cutting back to current, we find out that the reason that Officer Friendly's hated us this long was because she thought we killed her father, Officer Frank.
To get your transfer approved, to get you to my prison. The favors I had to call in, the sick things I had to do to get you under my watch.
Damn, she was sucking and fucking.
He really was. She shoots Murphy in the chest for the second time, causing him to don his alter ego, the Boogeyman. Ooh, this is for making me play this goddamn level. Ooh, this is for bullying me back on the bus. Oh, this is for putting your gun in my... Oh, she's down. After getting revenge for all the bullying she's done to us, we get the last moral choice of the game. Whether to kill Officer Friendly once and for all, or to spare her. Of course, I'm such a nice guy, I choose to spare her.
I won't do it.
No! Run! Frank! Put your hands where I can see them.
We get this great ending with them hugging it out. You know, even though she tried to kill me twice. I guess I also have to talk about the ending I got. So, when I told you guys earlier about how it has a secret morality system going on in the background when you're beating down the enemies, well, I killed every single one I fought. So because of that, we get this secret special part of the ending, where we see Anne going back to the prison to get revenge for her father.
What the hell's this?
You used to work with my father, Frank Coleridge.
Yeah? So?
We need to talk.
Don't you need to go back, you say? Don't you need to get the true ending? Well, actually, this is the true ending. As it turns out, because of this comic book here, the true ending is only unlocked after you murder a bunch of monsters. Eat your fucking heart out there, Undertale. And with that, the game is over. And I gotta be honest, guys, this game sucks. All the memories I had of this game being good must have been because of how bad the previous games were. And yes, there is an argument to be made that Silent Hill Downpour is far better than the other North American releases. When you compare it to even the weakest of the games made by Team Silent, it's nowhere near that level. Most things in this game come down to the exact same issue. They're all undercooked. The story is undercooked. The enemy design is undercooked. The combat is undercooked. And don't get me started on the sound design. The one thing I do truly like about this game is the premise of its story. I really like the idea of the character being an inmate and having this morally gray area to kind of live in. However, what I do not like is how they don't really use it for anything. I mean, in the game we get 3 moral choices and that's it. And no matter which choice you really choose, it only affects the ending. The other issue I have with the story is that it can't stay focused, especially when it comes to Murphy's guilt. I understand that you can feel guilt for a lot of things, but there is so much jumping between his kid, Officer Frank, and the game spends most of its time on Officer Frank, which seems weird. You'd think Murphy would feel way more guilt about the death of his kid, but it doesn't play out that way. We don't really get to see what he was like when he was alive. We don't get to see the flashbacks of the immediate aftermath of his death, which would have gone a long way to build this story up. Even Murphy's wife is relegated to just a couple of notes laid around. Like, really? The other issue with the guilt angle is trying to make Murphy feel bad about killing Napier. They make Napier's actions so extreme, like he did horrible things to your kid and then killed him. How am I supposed to feel bad about getting revenge on this guy? Instead, a better option would have been to maybe make Napier a drunk driver who accidentally hits your kid. That way, you're in this gray area of he did screw up, he did kill your kid, but he may not have meant to. I gotta stop myself. We can play the shoulda, coulda, woulda game all day long, but this is what we got. I really wish I could recommend this game even out of morbid curiosity, but the fact is this game costs anywhere from 60 to 80 to even $100 goddamn dollars. And take it from the dumbass who spent $70 on this game, it's just not worth it. Its biggest crime though, it's a Silent Hill game that's not scary.
We've heard enough now. Jury, have you come to a verdict?
Fucking guilty.
Mr. Poco Linto, this court hereby finds you guilty of being a fucking dumbass.
Well, I woke up this morning about got freight train.